Livable Frederick Master Plan is a visionary document, a strategic look at growth and development in the next generation for Frederick County.
This was an initiative that was put forward by the county executive, Jan Gardner, within the first year of her first term. It was her intent to take a different approach to long-range planning for Frederick County. There had been some planning efforts in the past several years. It kind of muddied the waters a bit. I think her intent was to say, look, we can do better. And after about 4 years, several hundred community meetings, surveys, social media, web page, multiple public hearings and public outreach events, finally the plan was adopted after great engagement with the county council in September of 2019.
It was important for us that when we started Livable Frederick that we weren't simply looking at growth and development issues in our growth areas. We also had to look at system-wide issues like how our agricultural economy functions, as well as open space issues and natural landscapes issues. Sugarloaf Mountain, being such a recognizable feature in the landscape, gave us the opportunity to kick off the implementation of Livable Frederick with an area that is recognizable across the county.
The principal reason that we put forward Sugarloaf as a first step in the implementation program was that because there has been development pressure there in the past, we heard from the community. There was a lot of opposition to prior development proposals down there, several of which were inconsistent with the scale and the scope of the development of the community that's there today.
So if you were to look at the zoning map or even the land use map of the current Sugarloaf area, you'd see a lot of green on that map, and you'd see a lot of white, which is how we designate our agriculturally zoned areas in the county. The Sugarloaf Mountain area has a rich history, both local and national. In terms of a mountaintop, its military value is quite significant, particularly in the 18th and 19th centuries. The peak of the mountain was used as a lookout. It was said that you could see Washington, D.C. from Sugarloaf Mountain during the Civil War. But in the 20th century, the land was acquired gradually over time by a gentleman named Gordon Strong. But Mr. Strong originally had this idea of the mountain as a destination point, and in the early days of automobile touring, decided to build an automobile destination for the top of the mountain, and he hired an architect, Frank Lloyd Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright designed a building, a destination for the top of Sugarloaf Mountain, which was a planetarium. Frank Lloyd Wright's design for that mountaintop destination, he eventually utilized some of that conceptual work, inverted it, and what we have now is the Guggenheim Museum in New York City.
Just like we did with the Livable Frederick plan, we're really putting forth extraordinary efforts to reach out to the community, to gain community engagement, to get public input into this process.
We anticipate an open, transparent, broad and deep public outreach process. We'll be kicking off at the end of February with the first of our public outreach meetings, but we anticipate several of those as the plan moves forward. The timetable for the plan right now is to have things wrapped up by the end of this calendar year, 2020. There is access to our efforts through our website. We have a Facebook page. We're always available via email and telephone here in the planning office as well. Folks may want to take advantage of the Nextdoor app. The Nextdoor app, basically, you can assign yourself to a specific neighborhood or area. It really is very much like the cork board, the bulletin board at the post office, at the church. In the past, the county has been pretty good about being open and honest about its planning activities, and we want to expand on that and make sure that anybody who has something to say has an avenue to say it.